Hello and welcome back, or welcome to the channel. I'm Loudguns, and today we've got the third instalment of our Invictus tour, with a bumper day covering Robert Space Industries, Argo, Consolidated Outland and Origin. The reality is that maybe none of these manufacturers have quite the swathe of Navy ships that we saw from the last two installments covering Aegis and Anvil. Spoiler warning though, we're going to be doing a walking tour of the show floor, so if you're keen to save that for yourself, then switch off now and I won't take any offence. But just before we get going, if you are new and considering getting into the game, then all you need to do at the moment is create an account and take advantage of the free fly to just test it out. When you create that account though, make sure you use somebody's referral code so you can get a bit of extra starter cash. Mine's up on screen, but if you've got anyone you know who plays, just make sure you use theirs. And if you're looking for anybody to come and get you more into the multiplayer aspect of SC, then just join us over on the Frontier Community Discord. The link's down in the video description. Right, so with all that said, let's hit the floor. So the main hall today is fairly dominated by constellations, but it's one of the sideshows that's probably going to draw most of the attention. The RSI Scorpius here is newly flyable in game as of 3.17.1. This two-seater heavy fighter has 4 size 3s under pilot control, and the same again for the turret gunner. The turret's a fairly unique contraption on a rail so that it can switch between forward and rear facing to either pour more damage on the pilot's target or fend off pursuers. All 4 of the RSI constellations, the Taurus Transport, Andromeda Gunship, Aquila Explorer, and for some reason Phoenix Luxury variants are all on display. Maybe the UEE Navy's Grand Admirals just like to watch the battle unfold from the comfort of a hot tub. We also have the RSI Mantis interdiction vessel. This is well worth a try for a bit of fun jamming QT drives. But I have to say, I really hope we see a few different variants on this chassis, because I personally really like the mini Connie feel it has. Over in the one open side hall today, we have a selection of ships from the other manufacturers. Origin aren't particularly well known for their combat ships, but the 100 series and 300 series both have a combat interceptor variant, the 125A and 325A. Fun fact though, the 325A was my very first pledge ship, so even though I've moved on from it, it's still got a bit of a special place in my heart. Argo are also represented with their MPUV transporter, and it's a good reminder that while the Invictus launch week is military focused, there are plenty of roles within Star Citizen which will ultimately contribute to combat operations without players necessarily having to get stuck in on the front lines. I recently played a game called Foxhole, and I really liked how they sort of tied logistics and combat together. So from Consolidated Outland, there's the Mustang Delta, the pure combat variant of the Mustang starter series, and this provides a really nice segue into downstairs where you'll also find the Aurora LN, the competing entry-level combat variant from RSI. So while these shows are often dominated by the big ships, and they're the first things that new players see, I think if you are a new player trying out the free fly, it's definitely worth trying both of these out as well. An Aurora or a Mustang is the smartest way into the game. Just go for the cheapest possible pledge and work your way up in game from there, or make friends with people who have bigger ships. So this could be a good chance to just see which of these two that you like the best. Also on the ground floor we have the RSI Ursa Rover. If you haven't tried it before, I highly recommend loading one of these up in a Connie and going for a drive on one of Stanton's moons. It just provides a really different sense of the scale of the game compared to zipping around everywhere in a flyer. And finally we have the holo viewers for ships still in concept. So up first, with some very fresh looking orange paint, we've got the SRV from Argo. This is Star Citizen's version of a tugboat, useful for towing larger ships around and getting them out of orbit. But I honestly can't wait to see the other uses that players find for them once it's in game. From Origin we have the G12 Buggy. I believe this is the G12A combat variant, so extra missiles. And RSI have a couple of big ones in here. The Perseus Gun Boat does exactly what it says on the tin, with 2 turrets each sporting dual size 7 ballistic guns. Also, I just love the look of this ship. I mean, it just looks mean. While the Polaris is the largest currently announced corvette, so it sits in between the Hammerhead and Idris in terms of size. Packs a range of turrets, but its real payload is some rather large torpedoes for tackling some of the larger prey. Personally, I'm hoping for a few more ships in this sort of size range. The crew of 6 to 14 seems like the perfect amount. that you might be able to get together with more regularity than some of the really big capital ships like the Idris, like the Javelin. But personally, I'm just more into having more guns than torpedoes. So I was hoping for something in this sort of size range from Anvil would maybe have me reaching for my wallet. So that's it for today's show. I hope you found it useful, and if you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons and sharing it with a mate to brighten their day. If you would like to take your support further, we do have a Patreon link down below, but honestly, just coming to hang out and watch videos is more than enough. In May 2022, we're doing a ship giveaway for a MISC Expanse. You can enter once per video by dropping a comment in the comments, but you can enter multiple times by commenting on any of my videos from this month. The winner of that will be announced at the start of June. So with all that said, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and tick off a lifelong goal of mine to leave Cloud City in my X-Wing. But I just want to say thank you very much for watching all the way to the end, and I look forward to seeing you next time.